So when it comes to the BBC, they previously tried to contact me, but they've had no response. Because this right here is a letter directly from the BBC themselves, pretty much just demanding that I buy a TV licence. And you might be in a similar situation to myself, because personally speaking, I cancelled the TV licence back in January of 2023. And how I did it at the time is I basically contacted the BBC just through their website, and I just let them know that I didn't need a licence. And I have come to learn that maybe that's not the best thing to do. Like, some people say to let them know, and others say basically just fall off the radar. And I can kind of see both sides of it. But like I said, I went down the route of letting them know that I didn't actually need one. But here we are about 2 years later, and they're sending me letters, like with red text. And it says important notice. And what got me, right, is it says buy a TV licence or tell us that you don't need one. Now with that sentence there, right, there's no wiggle room. They just give you two options. And they also don't use any manners either. Like, they're not telling me to please buy a TV licence. I know that sounds small and petty, but to just start that letter by just basically just demand, like with that sentence, buy a TV licence. No, they can absolutely swivel. And I might not like option 2 as well. That's kind of what, like later on in the video, that's kind of what I want to get your opinion on. But it says they want me to get in touch so they can make sure that their records are up to date. But that's not my issue. Keeping the BBC's records up to date, that's not your issue, nor is it mine. So once again, they can absolutely swivel. But it says you need a TV licence if you or anyone else at this address watches or records live TV. But what gets me is it just goes on about all these stipulations, like Amazon Prime Video. It doesn't mention it here, but in quite a lot of their documents, it mentions things like YouTube. And that in itself, that really is slimy. To just sit there and just demand that if you want to use another platform, something completely unrelated to the BBC, you've still got to pay the TV licence. That really is mad. Even here where it goes on about different equipment, like TVs, computers, laptops, mobile phones and tablets. The BBC has not paid for that equipment. And they haven't even paid for the streaming service that you're watching it on. Like, honestly, I can't say it any clearer than that. You're watching it on your phone that they haven't paid for. And you might be watching Amazon Prime, which again, they haven't paid for. But it goes on to say that it's, well, they say it's important. I wouldn't say it's very important that I buy a TV licence immediately. So I think that one's on them. But it says an officer could visit to check if you're watching TV without a licence, and you could be prosecuted and fined up to £1,000. And similar to yourself, I watch a lot of Chilly John Carney, and I'm fairly certain that he's said a couple of times that no one's ever received that £1,000 fine. Like, it's usually about 100 to 150, which, I mean, if you want to get the calculator out, that's what, about a year of the TV licence? So if you get caught, I'm not saying do this, but if you get caught and fined, it pretty much just balances out. Or ironically, it could actually end up in a positive. But then again, it doesn't really matter. Because fundamentally, if the BBC, like this service here, Amazon Prime, or these streaming services, like I said, they're not going to contribute. And they're not going to contribute to your device. So they really don't need any money for any of this. But like I said, I've got two options here. Well, according to them, I've got two options. I think the third option is going to be swivel. But I want you to let me know what you think I should do. Do you think I should buy it? So here we go. Option number 1. Do you think I should buy a TV licence? It's tempting, gonna be honest. You know, get them off my backs. No longer living in fear. You know, that some BBC presenters gonna come through the door. Like, they could send the TV licence people. Just don't send any of those weird presenters. I imagine, like, if they just send Hugh Edwards to your door. It'd be awful, wouldn't it? Or do you think I should tell them that I don't need a TV licence? Or option number 3. Do you think I should just basically tell them to swivel? And just not do a thing. Just for reference as well, I will say, before you make a decision, I will say that I don't actually watch live TV. Like, I'm doing it all above board. My dad wants to cancel it. He's got Sky TV, he's got movies and everything. I said, Dad, that might be a bit too hasty. But he's fairly certain he's going to do it. I think it's just my mum that's pushing back. But like I said, I don't break the law or anything like that. Not with the TV licence. Because I don't actually watch like BBC iPlayer or anything like that. But let me know in the comments what you think I should do. Do you think I should buy a TV licence? Or do you think I should let them know that I don't need one? Or like I said, shall I basically just ignore them and just see where this goes? I kinda think that's going to be the fun one. But let me know what you think in the comments. 1, 2, or 3. And if you want to see how this develops as well, then you've got to make sure that you become one of the 53,614 subscribers.
This country has gone crazy.